not only in the Lone Star Conference, but also in the country as well. They do have a tendency sometimes to disappear, and DBU at times got the better of them. For the Patriots tonight, they've got to find a way to rebound. Midwestern State makes their living cleaning the glass, and DBU is going to have to find a way to get some of those second chance points here tonight.
Mustangs control the tip. Terrell Wilson, the sophomore guard out of Houston, Texas, runs the show. Patriots come out of the man-to-man defensive look. Williams trapped in the corner. They go inside. A great look to Terrell Wilson. And the Mustangs are on the board early, and the Patriots see full court pressure now.
Wilson averaging just over 13 points a game. He's the offensive catalyst for this Mustangs team. DBU's going to need to know where he is at all times on the court tonight.
Lujan, the freshman, in the corner. Back out to Jacobs. Spot up three, and Jacobs delivers. Chandler Jacobs, a 48% shooter from downtown, buries that one. It's Ramel Williams with the basketball. Williams, young guy, a freshman that's broke into the starting lineup over the last 5 games for Midwestern State. Now they go to Luke Hamilton. Shot clock inside 10. Williams spins and finds Carter inside. Shot blocked by Heather. Batted around and the shot clock violation. What a job by William Heather on the inside. Big 6'10", 215-pound sophomore. There is a foul, though, on the floor.
You saw Luke Hamilton touch the basketball for just a moment. He's the leading three-point threat for this Mustangs team, coming in shooting 41.5% from deep. But you mentioned Chandler Jacobs, who drilled the triple on the other end. He leads the conference at 48% from three.
Here's Carter from three-point range. It's off the mark, and Jalen White has the rebound. Ricky Lujan, a freshman out of Las Cruces, New Mexico, at the point. Him and Chandler Jacobs in the backcourt along with Carson Hughes. Hughes, the leading assist man on this Patriots team, a guy that they moved into the point guard position really when Lujan was out with an ankle injury in early February. Heather kind of bodies his way down the low block. Hook shot, and Heather has it. Patriots have a 3-point lead and are 2 for 2 from the field.
Heather's been so big in that interior presence for the Patriots this season. He's really developed as a complete player from his freshman year a season ago.
Well, it was Heather causing problems on the defensive end, and now back on the other side. DBU's Chandler Jacobs draws the contact, and it is on Ramel Williams. First foul for either team. Patriots have a 3-point edge after Midwestern State scored on their first possession. It's a DBU team averaging 89 points per game. Midwestern State just below that at 81. Heather flashes high. And his jump shot from just inside the free throw line is good. Heather's got 4 in the early going, and the Patriots are up by 5.
And the Mustangs need to find a rhythm here. They want to keep up with the Patriots. The three ball has been that catalyst for the Mustangs, but trying to attempt one right here.
Ogechi had Jalen White with a hand in his face. Ogechi is a sharp shooter from downtown. He buried the Patriots from the three-point line. He had 6 trays on January 23rd. He missed his first. Here's Jacobs. He's fouled. He'll go to the line for 3, and Williams is already in foul trouble. That is his second personal.
You mentioned Ogechi just a second ago. He was in a little bit of a slump in the middle portion of the season, but he broke out of that in their weekend sweep of UTPB. Buried 7 of his 14 shots from beyond the arc, so Ogechi certainly one to watch out for. Can't foul Chandler Jacobs, though, as he goes up for 3 on the other end.
Well, particularly when he's now going to be shooting, as you say, 3 free throws. He's an 81% free throw shooter. That's second best on this Patriots team, and now they've got an 8-2 lead as that one rolled in and out. Patriots as a team coming in tonight from the line, they shoot 76% from the free throw line. Both these teams shoot the ball really well from the charity stripe. Midwestern State just a tick below that at 75%. Chandler goes 2 of 3 from the line, and the Patriots have a 9-2 advantage here in the game's opening, almost 3 minutes now.
Western State 0 for their last 4 trips down the court.
Fumbling the ball away, Pierre Sanders, a freshman, now his jump shot. A little runner in the lane is good, and that ends a 9-0 run. Chandler Jacobs wants to force the issue on the offensive end. There's a 3-point shot off the iron by Hughes. And now Midwestern State's out and running. Here comes Wilson into the front court. Finds a wide open Wilson, or rather Carter. His shot blocked by Jalen White, and the Patriots have the basketball.
Another key for the Mustangs here tonight, they need to get into the paint. You saw Wilson make that runner just a second ago. When the Patriots and Mustangs last played, you look at that first game, 40 of the 80 points for the Mustangs came inside the paint. That's what allowed them to stay so close to DBU.
Ricky Lujan for three, and it's off the back of the iron. Patriots 1 of 3 from three-point range here in the early going. Ogechi is quickly. Jalen White got a hand in his face. Ball knocked away. Carter to the corner. That's Sanders, and he knocks it down for 3. Now Midwestern State's on a run, and they've cut the deficit to 2.
This is what these two teams do. They fight and respond. They're never out of this game. The Mustangs went down early a couple of different times to DBU the last 2 times these squads played, but they were always able to come back and make it a close game in the end.
Jacobs, step back 3. He misfires, but there's Lujan with a rebound. Hughes goes inside to Heather, who's had the hot hand early. His hook shot in and out. Midwestern State now with a rebound. They could tie or take the lead. Terrell Wilson, sophomore guard out of Houston, with the basketball. He's averaging 13 points per game, leading scorer on this Mustangs team. It's really a 3-headed monster offensively for Midwestern State. Wilson, Carter, and Ogechi. They accounted for 67% of the Mustangs' points in their first 2 meetings here in Dallas earlier this year. Shot clock's at 6. Hamilton steps back into a 3. Ball's loose. Jalen White's got the rebound, and there's a foul. That's on Wilson, and it will bring us to our first media timeout. We got a good one brewing here in Dallas. It's 9-7. DBU on top. 15:05 to go in the first half. Let's look back. January 22nd and 23rd, the Patriots and Midwestern State. Game 1, you'll see Chandler Jacobs right here, able to drain from beyond the arc. He was dynamic. Final seconds of that one, and has there been a better finish in college basketball this year than what you'll see with our finish here in Game 2?
Certainly don't think so. DBU pulled off the improbable. Hopefully give you a look at that in just a little bit when we get done with another media break.
Yeah, we'll take a look at the alley-oop. Is Jalen White short on a three-pointer. Trey Jones has the board for Midwestern State. Mustangs on a 5-0 run. Patriots 0 for their last 4 from the field. Here's Ogechi. The junior out of Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. Now to Jones. Well, they've hounded Ogechi here in the early going as Lujan swats that one away. They got to hurry. Shot clock's at 5. Hamilton got Chandler Jacobs in his face, just throws up a prayer, and ball tipped around. There's where Midwestern State is so good. Nearly got her offensive rebound there, but the Patriots come away with it.
That was one of the keys to the game for the Patriots. They have to find a way to limit those rebounds. Luke Hamilton, by the way, just 2 of his last 11 three-point attempts in this building.
It's gotten ugly here shooting-wise in the last few minutes. Lujan out to White. Now they go low block. Cameron Kahn in the game. Kahn went for 27, a career high in his last game, and there he just bullies his way in, but his shot too strong. Patriots now 0 for their last 6. The Mustangs, they've not scored in 2+ minutes either. 2 of the better shooting teams in the league trying to find their way right now. Jalen Brown, who's checked in, goes out to Jones.
He's look a little bit tight here to start the game.
Ogechi from long range. Hughes tips it out, and there's Lujan with a rebound. It's a big emphasis tonight for both teams. Midwestern State, the top offensive rebounding team in the conference. Patriots know tonight they've got to be sharp and really hound on the defensive glass.
Well, and that's something that hasn't been the Patriots' strength this year as Lujan launches for 3.
Cameron Kahn battling for the board. I believe they're going to catch him for the foul. That is his first personal, Patriots' second team foul.
Oh, they gave it to Wilson.
No, they sure did. It is not on Kahn.
Excuse me.
I think it's good. They're going to catch Pierre Sanders. So 4 team fouls right now for Midwestern State. Patriots lead 9-7. Both these teams in the shooting doldrums right now. Patriots have not scored in 4+ minutes. White trying to find Kahn inside on Jalen Brown. 10 to shoot. Kahn works his way inside. The young freshman gets a left-handed hook. Big kid at 6'6", 250 for a freshman. able to work his way in on Jalen Brown, the 6'7 junior. Now Sanders out high on Lujan. Inside to Carter. Carter finishes, and he is dynamic inside the paint.
Carter able to slip in, and Midwestern State's going to need every single point that they can get. When you look back at their four of their 7 losses this season have come by either 1 point in overtime or both. So the Mustangs have had their hearts broken a number of times. They want to get out to a lead early if they can.
Lujan drives, lowers his shoulder maybe, see if they catch him with a charge. Trey Jones was there, and the foul goes on Jones. So 5 team fouls. Midwestern State here in the early going already in some foul trouble.
But you got to be so careful with that. Both these coaches, experienced veterans, they know if the other team gets in foul trouble, all of a sudden the strategy is going to change. And whether it be the Patriots or the Mustangs, they're going to try and draw that out, make you play on your back foot, knowing that you're in foul trouble early.
Hughes lost control of the basketball, but another foul called.
Well, we know the whistles work tonight.
That's on Terrell Wilson. 6 team fouls. Patriots are going to be shooting the rest of the way here in the first half. That could be key for a team that's the second leading shooting team from the free throw line in the Lone Star Conference.
Look at how the Patriots did offensively their last 2 games, for example, against Western New Mexico. Both very slow starts, similar to this, but they ultimately separated themselves at the charity stripe.
Great ball movement. Now Austin Garner, freshman, to Hughes. 6 to shoot. Carson Hughes looking, finds Kahn. They got to hurry. 3 seconds. Kahn inside, off the glass, no good. There's Carter with a rebound. Midwestern State and Tyre take the lead here. Sanders, far side Wilson, who's been quiet here in the early going. Team's leading scorer. Garner on Jones, 15 to shoot. Jones drives inside. Both teams playing outstanding defense. Wilson throws it up. Did he get it off? Zero contact right there. Foul called and a charge on Terrell Wilson.
Well, this is what Cameron Kahn does so well this season. He made his reputation not only on the Patriots, but also in the conference for giving up the body, being able to take charges and gain possessions for his squad.
It is immediate timeout on the floor. Both teams struggling offensively. DBU's got a 2-point lead, 11-9. They're on the Lone Star Conference.
Ensure opportunity for all.
This is what we're about.
We love to play our sport and encourage others to play as much as they can.
Together we promote opportunity for all student athletes,
protect student athlete welfare, and maintain integrity.
We all wear different colors, but we share the same purpose.
We proudly uphold the positive image of what it is to be a student athlete.
We strive to achieve excellence
through dedication, hard work, service, and teamwork.
We are the student athletes.
We are the voice.
We
are the Lone Star Conference.
It's 11-9 DBU, 11:31 to go in the first half. Told you earlier we'd take a look at the finish to game 2 here in Dallas. And again, has there been a better finish than alley-oop from half court in the game's, 0.3 seconds were on the clock?
Yeah, literally the minimum amount of time that is allowed for a play to happen in NCAA basketball made SportsCenter top 10. One of the craziest, if not the craziest play that we've seen in college basketball all season long.
It started with Carson Hughes. You see him on the floor right here, ball in his hands. His pass was absolutely perfect to Jalen White, who tipped it in with 0.3 to go on the game. Hughes had the ball tipped away from behind. Patriots just won for their last 10, but they were not able to get a shot off on that trip down the floor. It's their second turnover of the night, both teams with 2 turnovers. Jacobs nearly forced the third of the night. Ogechi on Hughes. Inside Carter, another chart, now they're going to call a block. They're going to get it on Cameron Kahn. So he stood his ground there on Carter, but it is Kahn called for the personal.
Just a split second late, trying to get his feet set into the lane, and Kahn, that'll happen. He's going to give up the body, he's going to draw contact, he's going to get some calls, but he's also going to get called for some blocks as well.
Luke Hamilton and John Weger check in for the Mustangs. 20 on the shot clock as they inbound it. Sanders to Ogechi. Ball knocked away. Here's Cameron Kahn. Patriots running. They don't have numbers here as Kahn will try to pull it back out. Get it to Hughes. Work the offense through Lujan to Garner. It's a young Patriots team, and the freshman Garner fires. DBU right now just 1 of 8 from beyond the arc. The Mustangs only 1 of 6.
And two teams that are known for their three-point shooting among the nation's elite, and they're just a little tight so far tonight.
We have not had a point in nearly 3 minutes, and that breaks the streak. Sanders with a bucket. We're tied at 11 now, nearly midway through the first half. Both teams have played just suffocating defense. A zone look here from Midwestern State. Hughes drives inside. Garner spots up from 3. Battle for the rebound. And out of bounds, and it's Midwestern State's basketball.
And one thing that DBU has not been able to do is penetrate at all. They're so good at getting into the lane, whether it's Chandler Jacobs, Ricky Lujan, or even Cameron Kahn and William Heather, getting in deep, taking those easy points right underneath the basket, or kicking it out to their three-point shooters. All they've had to do is kick it out, and right now the lid is on the basket for the Patriots.
Pierre Sanders brings it across. Freshman point guard. I want to get through the basketball to Carter or Ogechi. And it's Ogechi with his first good look at a three-pointer tonight. There is Carter with a backside rebound. So good on the offensive glass. Hamilton steps into the 3, and he buries it. He was so quiet here in Dallas in 2 games. He was just 2 of 9. They want to get him going tonight.
Well, they do. He's an explosive piece of their offense. Not part of the big 3, but still very, very important to pick up those extra points. And Hamilton was quiet, as you mentioned, in both games against the Patriots.
Ricky Lujan with a right-hand runner right there. He can't get it to go. Patriots have not scored in nearly 3.5 minutes. Hamilton again for 3. Gets it. And the Mustangs are rolling right now. It's a 15-2 run for Midwestern State.
Here's that streaky element that comes with explosive offenses. DBU needs to find a way to respond, or Midwestern State will leave them behind.
Lujan drives inside. Pull-up jumper. And his high arcing shot is good. Only Peyton Brown from University of Arkansas and Fort Smith has had more points as a freshman this year than Ricky Lujan. Lujan coming in tonight averaging 17.5 per game. Offensive rebound from Midwestern State. Sanders inside. Carter with great positioning on Heather.
And that can't happen for William Heather. Lets the smaller man box him out, find that offensive rebound. Again, Midwestern State, that's what they do so well. They get second chance opportunities and they make you pay for them.
Midwestern State lead now is up by 6. Heather, who was hot early, spinning, and he hits. William Heather leads the Patriots with 6 points.
So far, that's been a mismatch in tight for the Patriots. Heather on Hamilton. Look for DB to continue to exploit that. That's where they're getting their points right now.
Well, neither team's stars have really gotten going. Chandler Jacobs, a 3-point shot. Here's Carter inside, had it stripped away. And maybe a foul called here, either on Hughes or Heather. They're going to catch Carson Hughes with the foul. There's a lot of star power on the floor, but right now, it's been some of the role players that stepped up big. Luke Hamilton with a couple of trays for Midwestern State has them out to a 19-15.
The rest of the roster do that. And while DBU has a very talented roster, there's no doubt that Chandler Jacobs is the leader, the offensive scorer, and hoping to be player of the year as well.
Look at the shooting right now here in the early going past the midway point of the first half. Patriots are only shooting 33%. Midwestern State's at 42%. Neither team's really gotten going from three-point, although Luke Hamilton with a couple of trays for Midwestern State. The Mustangs 3 of 10 from downtown. Patriots are only 1 of 9. And Jermaine Carter hits his first free throw. Carter, a junior out of Mount Laurel, New Jersey. He's one of a couple of big-time JUCO signs for Midwestern State and for head coach Justin Leslie. Jermaine Carter along with Derek Ogechi, who came to Midwestern State out of Midland College. Carter arrived from New Mexico military. 21-15 now. Heather just takes control, goes inside, ball tipped around. Heather gets the bucket.
And you talk about the transformation of this Mustangs team as well. Just 8 wins a season ago, but they have looked like a completely different ball team this season. And coming in with an 11-7 record, it could have been much better. I mentioned earlier, 4 of their 7 losses by 1 point this season. They were so close to putting up better numbers than they did.
They've been hot lately. They've won 4 straight coming in tonight. Hamilton leads all scorers with 8. Him and William Heather also with 8. Here's Heather with the basketball in his hands. Not only had big points tonight, but a dynamic passer. Second on the team in assists. He gets the assist to him here in an easy bucket, easiest of the night for Heather.
That's the only player that Midwestern State has not had an answer for tonight, and right now it seems like that's DBU's biggest strength is big number 10 in the middle.
He's got 10 points, 5 of 6 shooting from the field. Sanders out high, 15 to shoot. There's Hamilton. Ogechi steps into the three, and he knocks it down. Ogechi is a 38% shooter this year from three-point range, and he drained 6 trays on January 23rd in Game 2 against the Patriots. He knocks this one down.
Not much you can do about that if you're Chandler Jacobs. You played tremendous defense. Ogechi just made a better shot.
Jacobs on Sanders. Now back out to Heather. Working the baseline, lost the basketball. Sanders was there to tip it away. Mustangs trying to build on a 7-point lead as we go inside 6 minutes in the first half. They put Jalen White on Ogechi. Hamilton open from the corner. There's Jacobs to the rebound.
Patriots got lucky there. There was a defensive breakdown. Hamilton was wide open in the corner.
Lujan on transition on his own. What an impressive move by the young freshman out of Las Cruces, New Mexico.
Lujan has had a huge impact this season, stepping up for Julian Miranda, who was lost for the season to injury, and the freshman has not missed a beat.
It's Weegar who drives inside the lane, had it tipped away by Hughes into the hands of White. 4th turnover tonight forced by DBU.
Great hands by Lujan to come in from the backside, jar that ball free.
They work to the corner to Lujan, now baseline, cut off. Find Hughes inside, ball is tipped around, Carter's got it. Patriots have turned it over 3 times tonight as well. Ball out of bounds, and it will be Midwestern State basketball. Here comes a slew of substitutions for the Mustangs. Jalen Brown, Trey Jones, and Travis Massey all checking in.
For the Patriots offensively, it seems like they're making one too many passes. Not that Midwestern State's giving them wide open looks, but it almost seems like the rhythm, the flow of the Patriot offense gets to a point where you would expect a shot, and then they pass it one more time. And as you mentioned, they've turned it over a couple times here tonight.
This will go the Patriots' way. They'll get the basketball back here. See Sanders there in the lane. Patriots with the ball. Chandler Jacobs will run the point here. Jacobs has 5. A 3-point shot early, and then was fouled on a tray and knocked down a couple of free throws.
Give Midwestern State credit. Chandler Jacobs has had no answer from any team this season.
Ricky Lujan, he now has 7. That's just the Patriots' second 3-point attempt that's been hit tonight.
6 conference player of the week awards for Chandler Jacobs, but worth mentioning, none of that against Midwestern State.
All loose, and look out now. Jacobs takes it coast to coast. We're tied now at 26. Offense started with the defense. Patriots now have forced 6 turnovers. 4 steals on the night for this Patriot defense.
Importantly, a 7-0 run over the last 90 seconds for DBU.
Patriots also 7 of their last 7. Carter goes inside on Hughes and dunks it. Or on rather on Heather right there. Heather tried to draw the charge. Next whistle will be our final media timeout of the first half. We've got a good one brewing here once again. A 2-point ball game. William Heather, they're going to give him the 3. He steps into it and knocks it down. William Heather leads all scorers with 13 now.
That was the last thing you expected from the big man, but credit him. He took the opportunity and nothing but net.
Heather's just his 6th made 3-pointer of the year, 6 of 23. Brown inside, loose ball. Chandler Jacobs has got it. Patriots now with numbers. Jacobs takes it all the way. No foul from behind. Jalen White is there to tip it in. 31-28.
Excuse me, Reagan. Great job by Jalen White to follow that up. It felt like Jacobs had that, but White didn't quit on the play, and an important 2 for DBU.
Patriots 8 of their last 9 from the field. Sanders trying to end this run, and he does. Knocks down the 3. Both teams struggled to get going offensively early. Now we're starting to see some offensive fireworks.
It felt like both teams feeling each other out. It has a feel of a big-time boxing match right now. Now both opponents stepping into their shots, and we're trading haymakers here at the Berg Center.
Heather thinking about it, going to take it again, and he knocks it down. William Heather, back-to-back possessions that he's hit shots from beyond the arc. He has 16 points now in the first half.
Incredible job by the big man, and he's just stepped up when his team needed him the most.
Already closing in on a career high. He had 19 against A&M International, or the Texas A&M Commerce back on February the 6th. Here's Massey for three. He hits. Now back and forth we go. Tied at 34, inside 150 to go until halftime.
Two great teams on the hardwood. DBU the 3 seed, Midwestern State the 6 seed. Both teams so strong this season.
Great pass by William Heather to Carson Hughes. Heather, who has 16, this time the defense converged on him and he found a wide open Carson Hughes. 36-34. It's been the William Heather show in the first half for DBU. 16 points, and then how about the find to Carson Hughes, who finishes with the dunk. It's a 2-point DBU lead here in the quarterfinals of the Lone Star Conference Tournament.
We, the Lone Star Conference.
36-34, DBU with a 2-point lead. How about what we've seen from William Heather tonight?
Well, what Heather's doing as of late, especially from behind the three-point line, is not in the scouting report. Midwestern State doing everything that they can to eliminate the other options, but it's been the big man who's not only been shooting, but distributing the basketball as well. And he's the reason the Patriots hold a 2-point lead.
Sanders with a pick set high. Driving one-on-one. There's Chandler Jacobs with another steal. Jacobs throws it down with two hands. DBU's lead now up to 4.
Well, it's just not fair when Chandler Jacobs has already read your script.
Jacobs now with 9. He had been quiet in the early going. Midwestern State trying desperately to end this run. Mustangs had led by 7. Sanders weaving his way through, pull-up jumper. Gets his own rebound. What a job by Sanders to go get the basketball. Keep the possession alive. Now Jones for 3. Still tipped around. Sanders again, and Midwestern State, you see why they are the top offensive rebounding team in the league. Ball's out of bounds. I'm going to say that it's Midwestern State basketball.
See why the Mustangs make their name in getting the gritty points. I don't know about that. It looked like it touched the baseline off a yellow jersey. Talking about Chandler Jacobs, though, he had a season-high 6 steals in the final game of the season against Western New Mexico. We think about him for his offensive repertoire, but he's also earned multiple Defensive Player of the Week nominations and awards this season.
Trey Jones misses on the 3. There's Jalen White. I think you're right. 3 offensive player, 3 defensive player. He's vying to be an All-American this year, and the Patriots now can play for the final shot. Jacobs got to be very aware of Trey Jones right there.
Matchup so much fun. You can see the intensity in Trey Jones's eyes.
10 on the game clock. Cameron Kahn. Ball's kind of sticking here down to 4. They've got the ball to the man they want. Chandler Jacobs, NBA range 3 off the front of the iron. Well, they played 2 thrillers in Dallas back in late January, and we may be on the road to another one tonight. 38-34. DBU carries a 2-point lead into the break. Don't go anywhere. Jay Etal back at our network studio.
State has. You saw William Heather pull up twice from 3 and drain it. Nothing but net. Heather has been the linchpin for this offense, and that's, I think, going to really help the Patriots going forward. Midwestern State has not had an answer for the big man.
Heather leads all scores with 16. DBU's got the basketball to start the second half. There's Heather right on cue. He's got 18, and he's 1 shy of matching a career high.
Incredible that he's showing up on the biggest stage against a Midwestern State team that is as scrappy as any in the Lone Star Conference.
Williams picks up his dribble to go to Ogechi. Well, Jalen White tonight has done a terrific job defensively. Ogechi, though, goes right at him and gets the bucket. What a response by Ogechi there on White.
If you're a Mustangs fan, that's what you love to see. No fear in Ogechi. A slow start, as you mentioned, but he goes right at Jalen White, who's one of the toughest defenders on this Patriot team. He's able to get the 2 points for his squad.
And they need Ogechi tonight. Second leading scorer on the team with 12, especially with Wilson in foul trouble with 3. Wilson is on the bench right now with the 3 fouls. Patriots have a 4-point lead. Lujan, the young freshman, got 5 to shoot. He's got to hurry. Hand in his face, gets it to Carson Hughes. Hughes steps into it at the buzzer, and Ogechi's got the rebound.
Bit of an in-between play for the Patriots there. They got outside their rhythm and weren't able to convert.
There is Wilson with the shot, and it's Jacobs who comes up with the rebound. Heather back with the basketball. Patriots slowing down the pace a little bit. Now Lujan, long range 3, and he misfires. Patriots now 4 of 14 from beyond the arc. They're shooting just below 30%.
I don't know if that was a play by design, but Lujan just completely unguarded there as all the attention was on Chandler Jacobs.
Step back shot from Ramil Williams, and the Patriots have the rebound.
Another area where the Patriots have done a really good job tonight. You look at the total rebounds, just 17 for Midwestern State, 14 now for DBU. The key to the Patriots' victory is cleaning that defensive glass, making sure that Midwestern State does not win the rebounding margin. It was something that the Mustangs did so well in the first 2 games despite losing.
Yeah, Midwestern State tonight, 6 offensive rebounds. The Patriots will have the basketball here. It's led to 5 second chance points. Hughes back to Jacobs. Jacobs slips, falls, and it will go to Midwestern State. He tried to draw a little contact right there from Jermaine Carter, but he just slipped and fell.
One more note on that rebounding margin. The Mustangs only out-rebounded twice this season, neither of which were here against DBU.
Terrell Wilson, sophomore out of Houston, Texas, who scored a career-high 23 against DBU in Game 2, has got the basketball. Ball knocked away. Carson Hughes going to take it all the way himself. Throws it down with one hand. Another fast break bucket for the Patriots, and Hughes has got DBU up by 6. Wilson had his shot swatted away by William Heather. Out of bounds, and it's DBU's basketball.
The turnovers are killing the Mustangs right now. 9 turnovers for Midwestern State. DBU has capitalized to the tune of 11 points.
That's just a mismatch there. Wilson at 5'11", in there on Heather at 6'10", and Heather swatted it away. Heather sets the pick high here as Carson Hughes has the basketball. Now Heather. One more bucket for William Heather. He'll have a career high, but his pass goes out of bounds. One of the first few miscues tonight for the Patriots on the offensive end. It is their 6th turnover, but unforced on that possession. It's a 6-point Patriot lead. Carter's got the basketball. Luke Hamilton, who was red hot early from 3-point range, gets it to Carter, and Carter's 3-point shot rolls around. Jalen White with a rebound. White has 6 rebounds for DBU. In fact, he leads both teams tonight in that rebound category. Inside, William Heather. Great positioning, but his left-handed finger roll, he could not get it to go, and then a foul called on the defensive end.
Yeah, just a chaotic sequence there for number 10 in White. Heather, I think, had an extra second. Is going to look at the foul here from William Heather. Just a little too aggressive going after Hamilton. I think had Heather gathered himself, taken one more dribble, I think he had all the time in the world to get to the rim, but rushed it a little bit, missed the bucket, and then compounds the error with the foul.
That is just the first team foul for either team in the second half. Patriots only have 4 fouls tonight. Nobody in foul trouble. Midwestern State got into foul trouble early. Since then, been very quiet in that category. 7 fouls, but none more glaring than Wilson, who has 3 and is on the bench. The team's leading scorer coming in tonight. Sanders, they've looked to him, the young freshman, leads the team in assists, driving, looking for somebody. 9 to shoot. He finds Massey, and he's called for the travel. The offense a little bit out of sorts for Midwestern State, and probably so much to the fact that Wilson right now with 3 fouls, their leader, not on the floor. Right now, DBU's got a 6-point lead, 42-36 inside, 16 minutes to go in the second half.
We, the Lone Star Conference.
Either the 2 seed West Texas A&M or the 7 seed in UT Permian Basin. Right now, DBU with a 6-point lead. They have the all-time lead in a relatively short series between these two teams. 4 wins to no losses. 3 of those wins coming right here on their home floor. Heather working on an 18 performance, back out to Hughes. Inside 10 to shoot. Now they get the ball to Jacobs. Jacobs, 4-3 from the left wing. Now DBU 4 of 15 from beyond the arc. Jacobs 1 of 4 tonight. Williams trying to go inside to Carter. Williams from the corner. And it's a loose ball. Carter battles for it now with Heather. Elbows fly. Ball loose. Tipped out of bounds. Patriot basketball. That looked as though it was off Chandler Jacobs' hand.
Western State continues to try and penetrate his defense for the Patriots. And it's interesting. I mentioned back in that first game especially that they matched up on. DBU won 81-80. 40 of the 80 points for the Mustangs came in the paint. Tonight, it's just 16. So Midwestern State find a way to get inside, get those easy, high percentage looks if they want to come back and beat the Patriots tonight.
Well, it is Midwestern State basketball. It did go off of Jacobs' hand. They've got 20 on the shot clock. Sanders with the basketball, down by 6. Sanders would have opened up for him, and the freshman goes in and throws up a rainbow shot and gets it to fall.
That a little too easy for Midwestern State. That'll rack up the paint points real quick.
Carson Hughes for 3 is fouled. Second time tonight that Midwestern State has fouled on a 3-point shot, and this time it is Travis Massey who is the guilty culprit. Boy, that is very close. Carson Hughes sold it.
He certainly did. But if you're Mustangs, you cannot put yourself in a position to give the ref a chance to make that call. Patriots, as you talked about, a very good team from the charity stripe, and certainly in a close game like this, you don't want to be giving away free trips to the line.
Well, none better than Carson Hughes. He's a 92% free throw shooter. Came in tonight 33 of 36, so he's not shot a ton, and primarily because he's a 3-point shooter. He doesn't get fouled a whole lot.
Exactly.
He's not going into the lane. He goes 3 of 3 from the line, and it's now 45 to 38. The Patriots have their largest lead now.
After that slow start for the Patriots offensively from the floor, they're now right at 50%, 18 of 36. It's been a hot last stretch, going all the way back to really the last 10 minutes of the first half for DBU.
Ogechi out to Sanders. Again, no Terrell Wilson on the floor with 3 fouls. 8 seconds to shoot. Sanders drives left of the lane. Shot blocked from behind by White. Massey's got it. Williams. Boy, Patriots suffocating defense, but Luke Hamilton open for 3, and it's in and out. Heather battles for the rebound. Well, you got to be tough to play in the paint tonight. There is some elbows flying inside, and now Jacobs backs it back out.
For Hamilton, it's another miss, but it's another close miss, if you can call it that. Back when he played against DBU those first 2 games in late January, it wasn't that he was missing off the mark by a ton. It was a lot of those similar type shots where it just went in and out. He could never get in a rhythm, and ultimately it cost Midwestern State.
Inside 14 minutes to play here from the Bird. DBU's got a 7-point lead. Sanders walks it across half court. Now Ogechi. Jalen White has had the defensive card on him tonight, and he has really helped in shutting down Ogechi. There's a turnover. White's got the basketball, and here comes DBU.
11th turnover of the night for the Mustangs.
Jacobs driving into the lane. That's where he's so good. He gets the bucket. The foul will go to the line, trying to complete a 3-point play and make this a 10-point ball game.
Midwestern State's got to be wondering what on earth they're supposed to do. Jacobs, a little bit of a slow start to begin this ball game. Really starts to feel like he's getting in that rhythm, starting to heat up, and boy, the Mustangs have a task ahead of them in the last 13 and a half.
Timeout on the floor. 47-30 teams right now in action here in the Lone Star Conference tournament. We've got some good ones brewing, especially down in Kingsville. A&M Kingsville as Jacobs completes that one. Got a 1-point game. Kingsville up 39-38. The surprise of the night, St. Edwards leading Lubbock Christian, the 1 seed, 40-30. And then West Texas A&M on top of UT Permian Basin, 42-23. Winner of this one will get the winner of West Texas A&M and UTPB. That one's late in the first half with just seconds remaining. Now a 10-point lead for DBU. They go inside to Carter. Carter over Cameron Kahn. Jacobs rebounds. Carter was, you can feel his presence early in this ball game, but he's been pretty quiet since. He had 10 at the half.
Defense there by the freshman Cameron Kahn had a career-high 27 points just a couple of days ago. Also a defensive stalwart for this Patriot team.
Austin Garner hits the three. The young freshman, uncontested right there, knocks it down. Patriots with their largest lead. Now at 13, now that lead cut down. A three-point shot right there for Midwestern State.
Getchy breaks a scoring drought of 2 minutes, 15 seconds. They're just 2 of their last 10, though, from the floor.
Now a 10-point lead as we close in on the midway point of this second half. There's a whistle. Stay with DBU. Lujan will inbound it as Carson Hughes checks in here for Lujan.
St. Edwards score Lubbock Christian right now. Lubbock Christian was undefeated until the 17th game of the season. It took the 2 seed West Texas A&M knocking them off to hand the Chaparrals their first loss.
Here's a long-range three. My, oh my. Chandler Jacobs is absolutely feeling it right now. The Patriots have gone up by 13.
Well, this has been his team this year, and he's truly taking control. William Heather did a fantastic job to get you to this point. Now Jacobs really stepping up as the leader of this ball club.
Ogechi has it, right corner. Patriot lead back at 13, their largest of the night. Sanders tries to get it back to 10. Three-point shot, off the mark. White's there with a rebound.
Western State just unable to get into the paint. DBU closing the lane down, and right now the threes are not falling for the Mustangs. 7 of 21 for the night, but they haven't hit recently.
Jalen White had that rebound, his 7th of the night. Here's Chandler Jacobs again. And on back-to-back possessions, Jacobs hits 2 shots from way beyond the arc.
I don't know how you defend that. That's past NBA range, and Chandler is just hitting them with authority.
16-point Patriot lead. Trey Jones desperate. The bleeding here. Jacobs has got it. Jacobs now with 18 and 6 boards. Hughes into the lane, over Hamilton, and just short.
Mustangs suddenly find themselves in an arm race and just not able to respond, trading 3 for 3.
Wilson still playing with, still has 3 fouls and on the bench. There's a foul here on the floor. It's going to be on Cameron Kahn. Lead is at 16. The foul on the floor right here.
15 to 3 run for the Patriots over the last 4 minutes.
And you look at the big 3 we talked about tonight for Midwestern State, only one in double figures, and that is Jermaine Carter. 57-41, Patriots up by 16, 10:39 to go from the Berg Center here in the quarterfinals of the Lone Star Conference Tournament Championship.
We, the Lone Star Conference Student Athlete Advisory Committee, are committed.
Chandler Jacobs has put on a show here in the second half, and the shooting percentage, Mitch, relatively close at the half. Patriots have really taken off and separated themselves here, at least midway through the second half.
Well, they do. DBU shooting at 54%, Midwestern State 38%. That's 8 points below what they averaged for the season, and I think a big reason is that Wilson's not on the floor. Such a big part of your offense, and you don't even have him putting shots on the basket right now.
Well, they've had to look to Sanders, and the young freshman out of Hutto, Texas, has delivered. He's kept them around, 57-44. Sanders has 12 tonight. His season high was 15 against Lubbock Christian back on January the 27th. I say 12, but that three-point shot right there tied his season high of 15. Kahn on to Carter. What a move by the young freshman. Off the glass, he drew the contact and the foul, and Kahn will go to the free throw line. talking about a lot of freshmen on the floor tonight. We just mentioned Sanders here. This Patriot team also with some dynamic freshmen. You see one here in Con. You've also got one in Ricky Lujan.
Second on the Patriots. Oregon, Cameron Kahn, boy, he's right direction, had reached double digits 5 times over the course of the season. Last game on senior day, what he does as a true freshman, he scores 27 against the Mustangs of Western New Mexico. A lot of talent all over the floor for both teams here tonight.
And he was doing what he did just right there. He had 13 free throw attempts against Western New Mexico. Here he hits 2. Patriots lead back to 15. We're now midway through the second half. They've had to turn to Ramel Williams at the guard position along with Sanders with Wilson on the bench. Williams draws contact, gets the foul, and he will go to the free throw line.
Mustangs looking for a spark here right now. Williams trying to give it to him on that possession. Talked about Sanders tying a career high. I like the bounce, the step that he has right now, trying to will this Mustangs team to an upset victory. And it was really close early on. At times it even felt like Midwestern State had the edge. They're going to have to climb the mountain once again if they want to ultimately bring this a happy conclusion for Midwestern State.
You know, Derek Ogechi was such a huge part of that game 2 that Midwestern State really had it snatched from him for 0.3 seconds with the midcourt alley-oop. Ogechi, 6 3-pointers that night. Tonight only 8 points, and he has been awfully quiet. Right now you see Ogechi guarding Carson Hughes. Patriots can now almost begin to work that clock a little bit. They've got a 15-point or the 14-point lead as Lujan has it. Kahn back to Lujan, the freshman for 3, and Hamilton gets the rebound. Midwestern State, conversely, they want to push. Trying to make their run right here. Inside for Carter, knocked away. Lujan with the steal. Patriots have got numbers. Alley-oop. Oh my, was it Taylor White or Chandler Jacobs? I believe it was White that got the bucket as the two share a laugh coming down the floor. Everything going right for DBU.
Air traffic control is going to get blamed for that one as they slammed into each other, but it works out for the Patriots.
61-45. Boy, the defensive pressure from DBU has really picked up here in the second half, and another foul. It's on Ricky Lujan.
12 turnovers for the Mustangs, 9 of them steals by the Patriots. Midwestern State, conversely, just has 3 of them. The defensive battle, without a doubt, has gone to DBU tonight.
I think Jalen White got that bucket.
I think he did too.
Great work by our camera crew there. 16-point Patriot lead, 61-45. Williams pounded, double team, trying to find anybody open. It's Hamilton. Jalen White, what recovery. Carson Hughes saved it. The defensive effort tonight from DBU has been outstanding.
Coach Blake Flickner telling his guys, all right, slow it down. We're in the lead. Let's start to bleed a little bit of clock. No need to rush into any turnovers. Set up the offense, go from there.
Cameron Kahn working from the low block, and a travel called on Kahn. A smile from Kahn as he comes down the floor, and now here comes Terrell Wilson. He's played with 3 fouls. He's had to be on the bench for the majority of the second half. They desperately need Wilson, the sophomore, to come on and give them a solid 8.5 minutes right here and begin this comeback trail.
They need his explosiveness. He's as dangerous as any player on the court when he gets going, when he gets in rhythm. Has a Chandler Jacobs-like quality to him. Just a sophomore. This kid's future is bright, but Midwestern State needs him on the floor.
Williams on Lujan. Bodied right there. Lujan called for the foul. You can see the Patriots defensively have really bought into Blake Flickner's philosophy of drawing charges. This is one of the teams, I think, probably the better teams in the country at trying consistently to do what you just saw from Lujan.
Well, and as the competition ramps up, so too does their defensive awareness, that effort. DBU has locked down the paint. That continues to be a story tonight. That was one of the keys to success for Midwestern State. Get into the paint, get those high percentage looks, and right now just shooting 39%. They could use a few more high percentage looks.
Cameron Kahn comes out, well-deserved hand after some really solid minutes. William Heather checks back in. Heather 8 of 10 from the field tonight. 1 point shy of a career high. Him and Jacobs each lead all scorers with 18. Midwestern State has got to start to feel some sense of urgency right here. For the low block, Brown foul. Oh, he's going to be called for the travel.
Wow.
Jalen Brown called for the travel. Big junior forward who began his career at Tarleton. He was at Jacksonville College for a year, now at Midwestern State, and there he's called for the travel.
Another unfortunate break for Midwestern State. Brown got Heather off his feet. It looked like it was going to be a defensive foul, but the travel negates all of that.
Here's Jacobs, NBA range again. What can he do? He's one of the best players at the NCAA Division II level. He's got 21 tonight.
Well, now Midwestern State really knows they're in trouble. They only gave up 18 to him in that second game of the two-game series. 21 here tonight.
Loose ball, Brown's got it. Wilson, 4-3, his first bucket. His first bucket comes inside 7.5 minutes to go in the second half. 64-48. Again, the winner gets the winner of West Texas A&M and UTPB. Lujan, the freshman hits. 66-48, largest lead at 18 now.
Not slowing their pace of the offense. They've still got the accelerated push to the floor.
In and out, White with a rebound. White tonight now with 8 boards. That's been a big storyline tonight. DBU, even though they've been out-rebounded, they have held their own against one of the top rebounding teams in the league.
Even though they've been out-rebounded, they're only being bested in that margin by 3.
Yeah. Jacobs for 3 again. He is lighting it up. He's 5 of 8 from downtown, and Jacobs now has 24.
Now you force Midwestern State to start matching threes. There's no other way that they can come back.
Jalen White with another rebound. 8 boards for White to go along with 4 points. Jacobs has taken the game over in the second half. 24 points on 8 of 12 shooting.
Both teams have only hit 9 times from beyond the arc. Jacobs has 5 of them for the Patriots.
Now to Heather. Heather with 18, looking. Got 7 to shoot, puts it on the floor. On Brown, Heather shot short. 8 of 11 tonight from the field. Ramil Williams had the ball nearly stripped and just threw up a prayer. Blake Flickner imploring, slow it down.
And DBU does not have to match Midwestern State's tempo. In fact, it would behoove the Mustangs for the Patriots to do that, but DBU takes their time, bleeds the clock, gets easy points.
Chandler Jacobs nearly pulled off another remarkable shot. He's fouled. He'll go to the free throw line.
You can see the Patriots in rhythm right now, smiles on their faces. They know that they're playing well right now, and they've got the advantage.
69-48, Patriots by 20. Really shined brightly here in the final 20 minutes.
Has, and that's what the Patriots expected from their playmaker. Chandler Jacobs has not disappointed here over the course of the season. He hasn't disappointed tonight, and DBU closing in on what they hope is a quarterfinal victory and a date with either West Texas A&M or UT Permian Basin.
Yeah, right now, West Texas A&M a commanding 42-25 lead over UTPB. If it does head that way, boy, that was a marquee matchup earlier in the season. DBU lost the first one there up in Canyon and then came back, a dramatic comeback in the second half to win over West Texas A&M. They split there, but not to get ahead of ourselves here, even though it's a 22-point lead. Jacobs 2 of 2 as he connects on them both. Jacobs having quite a night. He has 26 tonight. Still 10 off of a season high at 36 he had against Oklahoma Christian. That was also a career high. Foul call, I believe, on Jalen White. If it's on White, it's his first personal. Well, Jalen White tonight's been so aggressive. 8 rebounds, but that's just his first personal foul.
And I think White may be a little bit of an unsung hero. DBU with the offensive explosion, you're going to look at playmakers like Chandler Jacobs, like William Heather here tonight. White only has 4 points, but you mentioned the 8 rebounds against a team that prides themselves on winning the battle of the glass. Jalen White has helped neutralize that advantage for the Mustangs, paying dividends. It may not show up in the highlight package, but Jalen White has been a pivotal member.
William Heather comes out, 18 points for Heather. Wilson, gotta hurry, gets it to Carter. Carter with an easy bucket. Carter has 12, and I believe maybe his first bucket here of the second half.
Right, it is.
21-point DBU lead. 2 teams that played down to the absolute wire in their two meetings earlier this year here in Dallas. Jacobs hanging in the air. Travel call. The only things that has not gone Jacobs' way here tonight.
Second turnover on the
Ramel Williams, the freshman, with the basketball in his hand. Gets it to Wilson. Wilson lost control. Lujan with the loose ball. Now 14 turnovers by Midwestern State tonight. Patriots have done a good job of handling the basketball. They only have 8.
19 points off turnovers for the Patriots. Still Midwestern State, that may be the most important stat in the ballgame.
Kahn battling for the board and gets a fadeaway little jumper right there. Cameron Kahn with a huge bucket. He's got 6 now. 73-50. Wilson for 3. In and out. Oh, what a rebound by Sanders inside, and Wilson pulls down the board. He needs one more to get double digits. There's a loose ball, though, and Sanders has got an easy bucket.
Yeah, Sanders just took it right out of the hands of Jalen White. Jalen, talking to the official, thought maybe he was fouled in that turnover, but that's what Midwestern State has missed all of tonight, and now I believe that'll count as their first 2 points off turnovers.
Jacobs, once again, he's got 6 trays tonight and 29 points.
Sensational effort from Chandler Jacobs, and what been a special night for a number of players on his team. Jacobs continues to rise up to his competition and shine in the biggest moments.
Patriots have blown this thing wide open. It was a 4-point game at the half. 38-34, DBU carried a 4-point lead into the break. Here's another foul call, I believe, on Ramel Williams. It would get us to our last media timeout. DBU by 24 with 3:20 to go until they've got a date in the semifinals. You're watching coverage of the Lone Star Conference Tournament on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network. Absolute dominance in terms of field goal percentage in the second half.
No question about it. I believe you were just pointing it out. DBU, in the second half, 60% shooting from the floor. Midwestern State unable to match that, just shooting 28%, well below their season average of 46%.
Jacobs working on a 29-point performance. Out to Jalen White. White for 3. Kahn keeps it alive. Sanders has got the basketball. Midwestern State down 24. We get inside 3 minutes to go now. Williams on the baseline. It has been a terrific defensive effort tonight from DBU. Just suffocating in a man-to-man defense. Sanders has it. Jalen White with a hand in his face. Backside rebound by Hamilton. Ogechi, who's been quiet tonight, drives in the lane. Good pass to Carter, but the ball is lost. Great recovery defense right there from Jacobs.
How about the game plan for the Patriots coming in? Again, we keep referencing the first 2 games of series in the season. It's because it was a match. There was not much separation between either team. 81-80 and then 91-90 the next night. For DBU to go up giving that kind of offensive production, and then tonight so far hold them to just 52, I think is incredibly impressive. Speaks to effort and the game plan from guys like Cameron Kahn, William Heather, younger guys that you've been able to rely on tonight.
Foul on the floor. It does put Jermaine Carter at the free throw line, a 62% free throw shooter. Carter on a 1-and-1. This is White with a rebound. I say that. Two shots. They said Carter was shooting, I guess, is what they call it. DBU's only got 5 persons. We're not in a bonus here.
Yeah, so evidently it was a shooting foul.
Carter has 12. He had 10 at the half. So Carter will shoot another one. 2:31 to go in the ball game. The 52 points, now 53, is a season low for Midwestern State. They scored 61, or they're 71 in their last. They've had one lower than that. It's 71 against UTPB in their final game. We're at 2:15 to go here in the waning moments of this one. Patriots by 23. Hughes looking, find Cameron Kahn. Kahn on the baseline, drives inside, and a charge called on Kahn.
Talked about off the top of this broadcast how both teams needed to make sure that they did the little things right, whether it was driving in and getting those paint points or continuing to shoot well from beyond the arc. Both offenses at times have been streaky, and unfortunately for Western State, the second half has been the downside of that streak. They kept pace with the Patriots. It was slow to start. They really ramped up towards halftime, and unfortunately just have not been able to get it going ever since the intermission.
Sanders, young freshman, has been called on tonight. He has been one of the few bright spots for them. Here's Carter to Ogechi. The three-point shot with White tonight. You talked about it. You're not going to see that in the stat column, what he just did, but he put a hand in the face of Ogechi and made it so difficult for him on that shot. Jacobs with the basketball. He's found timeout on the floor. 1:42 left to go in this one. Patriots can sense a berth in the semifinals as they will clear the bench here after this timeout. One more break here from the Berg Center. You're watching coverage of the Lone Star Conference quarterfinals here on the LSC Digital Network.
At Raising Cane's, we believe in one love, quality chicken, or you can just eat it. Raising Cane's, one love.
76-53, 1:40 to go in the ball game. Patriots now clear that bench. Jacobs, Kahn, White, Heather, and Hughes all will get a much-deserved rest here as Ricky Lujan, the freshman, does stay on the floor. Now Grayson Bueller, Michael Ayers, Abraham Akumator on the floor as that ball goes in and out of his hands on the rebound opportunity. There, Austin Garner also on the floor for DBU. Hamilton, who you thought early on tonight might have a big hand in this ball game, really quiet since his second made three of the night early in the first half.
He just hasn't gotten going, and that's been the story over the last 3 games that he's played here. Every single time he has come into the Berg Center on a bit of a heater, has been one of the more consistent shooters in the entire conference from three, and whatever reason here at the Berg Center, not been able to produce. Just 4 of 18 so far.
Ayers will get it in. Full court press here from Midwestern State. Final minute of this one. Strong crowd tonight here at the Berg Center. Grayson Bueller's got it. Ricky Lujan will just spread it out. Midwestern State, they will finish their season at 11-8. But what a job that Justin Leslie has done. This is going to be a program that's on the rise. They were so dominant for so many years. 8 straight trips to the NCAA tournament from 07 to 2016. This is a team that has been in the Elite 8 3 straight years. You go back 2010 to 2012. This was one of the most dominant teams at the Division II level. I think Justin Leslie is going to get them back on the right track. Their season will come to an end tonight.
Has a track record, the experience of coaching successful basketball, and you're right, so much talent on this roster. Young freshmen, you talked about the transfers earlier that came in, made an impact this season. There's no doubt that this Mustangs team, once again on the rise, and quite frankly, they're going to be a team for the next couple of years you do not want to see in the tournament.
Ricky Lujan will bring it across right here. This Patriot crowd will get behind Lujan. DBU can just run out the clock. They're so tough to beat here at the Berg Center. DBU 75-11 since the start of the 2015 season. And with a big win tonight by 21 over Midwestern State, they've just punched their ticket to the semifinals of the Lone Star Conference Tournament. DBU wins it by 21 tonight over the Mustangs.